Hello and welcome to True Voice Today. I'm Susan Cook.
And I'm Wayne Forrest.
And today we're talking about Instagram. And Wayne, please, will you introduce our wonderful guest today?
I have the wonderful Cindy Shaw, who's a friend of mine that I met a couple of years ago. And through another multi-marketing company called Purple Rice. But we also did a bit of work in the Dream Builder with Cindy. And I asked her to come on to our podcast today because she has done an incredible job with her personal Instagram. We both started roughly the same time in Instagram, and I've only got about 230 something followers, and Sydney has got over 4,000 followers. So I thought it would be really interesting to ask her a few questions.
Hi, Cindy. It's just so great to have you here. Thank you so much for coming in. And I have been wondering how to create such a following on Instagram, and I'm sure our guests are going to be fabulously, wonderfully happy to have you here as well. So over to you, Wayne. Thank you so much again, Cindy. I'm really excited about this podcast.
Awesome. So, Cindy, the first question I wanted to ask you is, how did you create 4,000 followers, and how long has that taken you?
You and I went in on a program together to help me learn. That was back in May. So I've been doing this since May. And I got ideas out of the program that we went in together with, and then left it because it was boring. And I've just gone my own way. I've got almost 4,500 followers. It's been a lot of trial and error. I don't know statistics. I don't do that. I just, if it doesn't work, fix it. If it does work, don't fix it. I enjoy it. It's something I do. I have a lot of information about it.
So Cindy, just to help with that is, so when you started, what were the steps? How did you start to get momentum? What was say 3 things that really made you take off, and the followers really start to come?
Because I set a profile that determined that my niche and my purpose was mental health, positive, inspirational, and motivational. I carry those throughout my whole. That's what my Instagram is about. It has a little bit of me, a lot of me, and I like to get a feedback that says, "Oh, you made my day." Well, that makes my day. So it's a win-win for me because people like what I do.
Awesome.
Wow, Cindy, that's so awesome. And I was just wondering, do you, when people come in and actually speak to you or text you or write to you through Instagram, do you answer each and every one of them?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. How amazing you are.
So, Cindy, you mentioned the mental health, and that's really personal to you, and so your Instagram is really from the heart. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's from my heart and soul, because I've suffered from depression for a lot of years, since I was 16, and my anxiety is up through the roof a lot of times, and I am medicated, but this part gives me joy because I have people saying like, "Oh, I wish you could take my anxiety away," and I go, "Well, I wish I could too," and I give a little theory of maybe that you can try this. "Oh, I haven't heard of this, thank you," and that's worth it to me. It isn't. I want to make money off of it in the end, of course, but for now, it's like medication.
Yeah. So it's a feel good. It's a real feel good to help someone else, and that's a great point, because you know, obviously in Dream Builder, that's what we teach is that helping someone else and helping others makes us feel better about ourselves too.
It's my purpose, my drive.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cindy,
So-
I'm really impressed with the fact that you have the graciousness to come onto this podcast and openly speak about your mental health and how going and actually studying Instagram and learning how to actually work it so that it's actually a therapy for you, and in turn you are actually helping 4,000 other people out there with a mental health issue. I really am overwhelmed and almost speechless. And for me, Coach Susan, to be speechless, that's really something. I've always got something to say. So the fact is that you've done this, and through Dream Builder with Wayne, have actually, with his coaching, gone on to actually studying Instagram and making that something that actually makes you wake up every single day and call it your medication. And it's not a sort of clinical medication, but it's a mindful medication. Is such an incredible thing. And with what Wayne and I teach to our clients, and you know this as well, is that you're living in the now. You're not thinking about yesterday. You're not thinking about tomorrow. And you are actually grounding yourself through the social media experience of actually finding people who come in and actually speak to you as if you're a mentor, which you are. You're a teacher now. And that is something that is so powerful, that each and every one of us have the possibility and the ability to do exactly what you're doing. So you've actually self-healed yourself in a huge way as well. And I'm really blown away about that, because it's something that other people who are listening to this podcast are going to be able to relate to. And when I actually have listened to you on this podcast, I don't have mental health issues, other than everybody says I'm eccentric and a bit crazy and always happy. What's wrong with you? You're always happy. What are you on? But the thing is, knowing that you have the ability to do this, you are putting it out there that so many other people have that ability as well. And I salute you for that, Cindy. I really do.
And Cindy, there was a lovely post that you put up the other day. I think it might have been about a week ago now, and it was about mental health issues. You know how was it bipolar? How you're constantly worrying that you're going to muck up, and so you know you're in fear. You're always in the background, and so what Susan's saying is that how we salute you for being in the background in some aspect, but you're also being a leader and getting out there and doing Instagram. So I think you need to give yourself a huge pat on the back, and I know you don't like being given such praise, but it's amazing. And if we speak into that that post, what hit me was that most of us have felt that way at some time in our life, you know, that we aren't good enough, that we are sort of going to be judged for mucking up or for not getting it right. And it kind of hit me, because the only difference is between someone who's got a mental health issue and someone who hasn't, is that the person who hasn't has the ability to get out of that mindset long enough to see a different angle or a different possibility, and the person with the mental health issue is stuck in that mindset. And would I be correct in saying that, Cindy?
Yes, very much so. It's a daily battle to put yourself out there, make a mistake. It's a fear. It's reality, and you should know. I've talked a lot about reality, and you call it paradigms, and I call it reality. So with Instagram, I can hide, but yet be out there at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's why it's working for me, because it's not like a multiple personality, but it sort of is, if you want to take it like that. I can be real and not worry about being messed up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Safe. It's safe.
Cindy, it makes absolute loads of sense. And as Wayne said as well to the audience and to you, is we talk about facing our fears, and each and every one of us have those fears that we actually sort of like, I can't do this. And this is where you say you actually have learned how to actually create a positive action out of the reaction of fear, and that is actually getting onto Instagram, know that you behind the scenes, that you're able to be in the forefront of what you say and what other people say. On that note, Cindy, I'd love to ask you, when you actually have these 4,000 followers, do you actually create what you're going to post each day? Before that, can you let the audience know, or anybody else who's listening and being totally inspired by you, of how you actually start to create these posts for Instagram?
There's programs all over the App Store. So in the beginning, I used one that was called Word Swag, which I would find a photo and then I would find quotes to put on the photo and make them every day. I used to post like 26 posts a day, because that was the theory. You post a lot to get yourself out there, because you're working with the different time zones for people, so you want it to roll. Then it got to where it was taking up a lot of room on my phone, so I found applications on the App Store, and you could type in motivational, and it gives you an application that has motivational quotes or positive quotes or any kind of thing. You find a lot in the App Store. So I started doing that, and then I found more information. I've joined groups on Facebook with the mental health. I have thyroid issues, so I've joined thyroid on Facebook. They have in Facebook, you can find groups that are like follower for follower. I do not recommend that. I've tried it, and all they do is follow you and then delete you, and you do the same. It's not what you need. It's not healthy for what you're doing. I don't recommend that. I do recommend going into engagement groups, because that gets you out there more and they see you more, so they give you a like for like, which you need that, or a comment for comment, which you need that too. Engagement is important. I find information that resonates with me.
So the very interesting thing is that even when you're actually doing your research, it's very intimate and very personal. And from what I hear you saying is some of these ones where you can get heaps and heaps of people coming in with all these likes and everything, but it's not personal. So for you, it's paramount to actually love your audience.
Well, and you want them to love you.
Absolutely. That is such a profound statement. Yeah, as coaches, we want our clients to love us. So we hear what you're saying there as well, because they have confidence in you, don't they?
I think so. I think I'm right. I do it with my heart.
Yeah, and that's huge, Cindy. That is so incredible, and I think there's a lot of that out there, and sometimes we forget that. That it's that personal connection with each individual. So you're personally trying to connect with everyone that comes in as a follower, and yeah, that's awesome.
Cindy, what I was wondering about is you're on a journey with with a platform that was actually, Instagram was actually the first platform, wasn't it, for any of these photo posting type mediums and everything. And
yeah, I do believe so.
Yeah, so you're sort of on a journey with these people. From what I understand, Instagram was the very first photo sharing platform on the web, and it's known for its square image format. And it's been, I hear from what I understand, it's been around since October 2010. And the guy that developed it was called Kevin Systrom, and there was a guy called Mike Krieger. And then Facebook saw that they were doing so well and said, wow, let's take over. So it's interesting to know that you're on this powerful journey with these people, and what you're doing is creating a whole life and way of living for yourself. That's fabulous.
Yeah. It's a way I can be safe in my own home, but yet out there at the same time.
Okay. So, Cindy, just a few questions about what you said just before. Those groups that you have connected through, did you connect through Facebook?
Yeah.
Their Facebook groups. And so how do you then advocate what you're doing as an Instagram? How do you get them to follow you, or do they follow you on Facebook and then you're linked to Instagram, or?
No, they follow me on Instagram and then go to Facebook. My Instagram is, is a lot larger than my Facebook. They follow me when they see something they like, and they'll comment on Instagram, or they'll like it and follow. And then usually the old story is you follow for a follow. So you can see it on your Instagram whenever somebody follows you. And I go click on them and see what they have in their page. If I like, then I follow them back. That's how it begins.
Yeah. So do you post in those groups positive stuff like you do on Instagram? Right.
Yes.
Sweet.
That's why the other day I asked if I could borrow one of your posts. So I took it from your Instagram and I put it on one of the engagement groups that I belong to, and it was seen, liked, and offered a free shout out. So I have to work on that. So it's getting you out there.
Yeah.
Cindy, I'd love you to let our guests know what your Instagram tagline is, and your Facebook name, so that they can follow you.
My Instagram and Facebook both are itfits66.
It fits.
Yeah, it fits everything.
It fits 66. That's like get your kicks on Route 66.
Probably because I'm American, eh?
That's so cool. Well, I'm going to be asking you to follow me too. It's at Happy Scribbler, so I need you to be following me as well.
Certainly.
And since you both put a plug out there for your guys, I'll have to say mine is life is really fantastic.
And it is, isn't it? Life is fantastic when you actually find something that actually gives you something to wake up for. And with Cindy waking up to be able to say, hey, I have got a reason to be here. And you have a powerful reason. And each and every one of us are here on this earth with a powerful message and reason. And you are putting your powerful message out there. So
I want to help everybody.
You are. I mean, Prince Harry has really brought it really out into the open, and people are now respecting the fact that there are not just thousands, there are millions of people out there who are quirky. Or as our lovely Miss Gorgeous, our business partner and our podcast partner, Heather, who's not here at the moment because she's really busy working on a course, but she calls everybody the misfits. And generally speaking, we all find each other because we're different, we're quirky, we're eccentric. And the sort of man on the street out there kind of says, oh, well, you know, those are misfits. And we think, yeah, we are, and we are special. Special.
Very special.
And the funny thing about that is, Susan, is that those misfits, everyone's a misfit. And the only reason that they don't become a misfit is because they end up trying to fit in society wherever they're meant to, where they think they should be fitting. And we don't. We're all should be our individual selves that is quirky, is a little bit different from everyone else. And we shouldn't be trying to be exactly that.
100% there. Cindy, you know, we touched on Prince Harry, and he's really, from when he was in the army and everything, he saw how terribly stressed and out of sync people were with post-traumatic stress syndrome. And that's not just from being in a war. People get it from being carjacked or watching people being murdered in front of them, or any of these terribly sad things. But also it's a condition, and where people actually do become diagnosed with bipolar and things like that. What are your thoughts on how it has actually become acceptable, and that people are being accepted for just being different?
For me, when I was young, it was a behind the closed doors subject, and wasn't very happily dealt with. Now I find that it is more out there, it is more accepting. People do, you don't have to hide, it's okay. And that's really important, because that's what got me out and about, because it's okay, it's safe. And I don't know what else to say.
Oh, well, you've said it all. Just coming and actually presenting yourself here on the podcast. Both Wayne and I were aware of how much of a challenge it was for you, because this is your first podcast, isn't it, Cindy?
Yeah, it is.
Well, you've done really well. We're going to be calling you back, girl.
Okay, then.
So
yeah.
Sorry, Susan. To wrap this up, Cindy, we would like to thank you, and you've done a fantastic job on helping those who are listening to this get some real good tips, you know. And what I've got is definitely come from the heart, connect individually with each person, and you know, join those groups, join those Facebook groups of the interests that you want to create in Instagram, and post in there, and then connect individually with those people so they connect with you. And so thank you very much. I'll be taking that away with me, and I'm sure other people will be too. And love your beautiful smile, and thank you.
And thank you so much, Cindy. Really appreciate it. Do you have any last minute thing you'd like to say to everyone?
No, I just want to thank you, and I hope everybody does all right. If you have any questions, just holler.
That's perfect. You know where to go. Cindy's told you.
Yep. It fits 66.
It fits 66. Go and find Cindy. I'm certainly an advocate for Cindy, for everybody, for all the misfits as well. Go and find Cindy because we love Cindy. She's very special.
Awesome. So that's True Voice today. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.
You. Thank you, everyone. Love you lots. Speak to you next time.